my most complimented scent of last year, 2023, now that it's the new year, a bit of a review of kind of fragrances that are tried and true and that have, they're attention getters, they're compliment getters, they're just good in general, at least according to the people I've been around. And as always, all the fragrances that I mentioned are going to be available in the Amazon associate links down in the description below. Now, I'm going to start with one that I just personally really, really like, and people around me seem to also like it, which is Youth Dew from Estee Lauder. So, this is one that people don't tend to come across much these days, mainly because it's very, it's from the 50s. It's 1953. Definitely not modern. And I still think it works really, really well. It's just, at least to me, I mean, some people hate this with a passion. I think it's a nice fragrance. Primarily, you're getting amber, incense, spices, resins, musk, just super, super heavy, hardcore type of fragrance, super strong, 8 hours minimum, really crazy. But it's also balanced out with some nice vanilla notes, some nice floral notes like roses, So it is still balanced. It's not just like straight musk or straight spices, it is still balanced. This was supremely popular in the 50s and the 60s and the 70s, like for a while. Only these days, in the past few decades, it's kind of lost traction, but this is still a really good fragrance. I love the performance. I always appreciate when fragrances last a very long time, so you don't need to worry about reapplying them. But in general, this is just a classic scent. It is elegant, affordable, which is hard to combine those two things, and unique, I would say, because a lot of women's fragrances these days, modern women's fragrances, they're very similar, like very sweet, you got the fruit notes, you got the sugary sweet notes. This is completely different from what is considered popular these days. So if you're looking for something a little bit different, a little bit heavier, or a lot heavier, Youth Dew is a really good option. And it dries down to a nice powderiness, which is a nice contrast to its otherwise very, very heavy notes. Now, moving on to something that's completely the opposite of this, I would say Red Door from Elizabeth Arden. This is just nice in general. 90s fragrance. I don't see how you can go wrong with this. It's a simple floral fragrance. There's like 20 different florals. You got the rose, lily of the valley, lang lang, all the florals you could imagine, they're in here. Plus a note of honey, which is a nice kind of addition. Adds a little bit of sweetness to Red Door. In general, this is a surprisingly long-lasting floral, because usually floral fragrances do not last that long, just because they're just light. But this is actually has some really good staying power, which you would not expect. And even though it is definitely sweet, it is not too crazy sweet. We're not talking La Vie est Belle levels of sweet where you got that caramel and the vanilla and, sugar notes. This is more of a natural floral sweetness, like you're in like a big field of flowers or something, that's natural sweetness, which I quite like. It's very feminine, very classic, and again, long-lasting, probably about 7 hours of longevity there. And it's just nice. I mean, again, I haven't really come across anyone who dislikes Red Door, just a classic option. Now, even though this one is a men's fragrance, Leighton, I still like wearing this. It is, Parfum de Mali, they produce very high-quality fragrances. Leighton specifically is one of my favorites along with Pegasus, although I prefer Leighton just because it lasts longer. Again, even though this is a men's fragrance, I would say it's pretty unisex because it's actually surprisingly sweet. It's a sweet, spicy type of fragrance, has some coriander thrown in there. In general, it's just pleasant. It's definitely a winter type of, autumn-winter type of fragrance on that warmer, sweeter side. And it's pretty heavy, which I also appreciate. Again, long-lasting, good performance, good projection, scent trail, and everything. This one always gets me compliments. Whenever I am near somebody, they always notice this. Has, again, good projection, very easily noticed by other people, and just a kind of classic type of fragrance, very sophisticated. And again, being from Parfum de Mali, it's, you know, just naturally elegant, naturally sophisticated, good unisex option. Again, I haven't come across anyone who dislikes Leighton specifically. It's just kind of one of those likable fragrances. But then, going on to, actually these next two are both from Calvin Klein, but I'll go with this one first, Eternity. So this, I would say this is pretty similar to Red Door, but has some, you know, little tweaks, little differences, where primarily it's a bunch of florals, but mostly white florals. It's pretty light, pretty sweet. It just has a sort of like a little twist off of Red Door. But it's very strong, which is nice. It really clings to the skin. It lasts pretty much all day. Really nice spring to summer type of fragrance. Again, it's just nice. If you like florals, there's no reason why you shouldn't like Eternity. It's just kind of, again, one of those likable fragrances. Very nice, kind of just daytime casual option. And in general, I mean, it's just pleasant. It's very, very feminine. If you're looking for something that's like classic, natural, feminine scent, this will pretty much do it, along with Red Door. Definitely one of the more of those natural types of scents, like you're walking through a garden or, again, a field of flowers, that sort of thing. So very pleasant, definitely. And one of those rare floral fragrances that actually last a long time, which is always a big bonus. Now, the other Calvin Klein fragrance is completely the opposite of Eternity, which is Obsession. Calvin Klein Obsession. I love this. This and Youth Dew are really high up on my list, just personally. And they're pretty similar, actually, in terms of how strong they are. Obsession is just, I mean, you can see this is completely used up, but when I used to wear it early in the year, really, really nice animalistic, kind of ambery, woodsy type of fragrance. Super, super long lasting, 8 to 9 hours, maybe even longer. Has a really nice vanilla note thrown in there. Amber. I mean, you have to be prepared for when you wear this, because, you know, if you're more accustomed to something like Eternity or Red Door, you know, like a light floral, you can't just switch to this. You gotta be prepared, because it will just slam you. It is just really strong, very, very, again, animalistic, super seductive, very powerful type of fragrance straight from 1985. So this is definitely going to get you noticed. Super projection, definitely will fill up a room. And even though when you put it on, it is really, really strong, because of the vanilla note and some of the other notes that it has to smooth it down, after about an hour, it becomes really nice, really smooth, and very warm. Definitely good for cold weather, or like evening wear. But in general, just really nice. This always gets compliments. That is pretty much my list here of some of the most complimentary fragrances that at least I've encountered. So hopefully you found this video helpful, or at least entertaining, and if you did, of course leave a like, maybe subscribe, and I make videos throughout the week, so stick around for those.